Football is officially back. The EFL season kicked off for the first time this season. We saw some crazy results, some unexpected turns, and today we're going to be looking at the Championship specifically, going through each game and seeing where it leaves us for next week. So let's get into the video. Yes, lads. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, it is the Championship overview. We're going to be going through it. We've got Team of the Week, Player of the Week, Performance of the Week by a team, and we're just going to go through each result and see where it leaves us. Of course, it is very early days in the Championship, but it's interesting to see how teams have started, who's got that momentum going into the season, and ultimately who's been, a little bit disappointing. Only one game, I know, but who was a little bit disappointing they couldn't get all 3 points in that first game. There was quite a few away losses, which is always interesting to me because first game of the season at home, how can you not be up for that? Maybe they were just outclassed, but we'll go through each game as we do. So as you can see as well, this is, of course, the official layout I've gone for in terms of the overviews and what it all looks like. Now, this can change. If you guys want to see other things, let me know in the comments, but we're going to be doing this for every single game week. So yeah, any changes you guys want. For example, I'm even looking at it now. I'm thinking this ticker is going a bit too quick for me. My eyes are, but whatever. Let me know in the comments anyway, and we'll get there. And of course, if this is your sort of content, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well, really helps the algorithm. First one, so let's try and get something like 100+ likes, do you know what I mean? Really go for it, and as we mean to go on, that's the saying, isn't it? There you go. So, let's then start then. So first and foremost, I just want to start with the team of the week. As you can see, now, this is chosen by FootMob. It's not a sponsored video. FootMob, if you want to sponsor this, you know where I am. But regardless, this is the FootMob team of the week. So what I think I'll start to do as the season goes on is maybe add a few of my own picks, but I just thought first up, let's just go FootMob and see, because of course I didn't watch the full 90 minutes of every single Championship game this weekend, but this is it. So it's a 4-4-2, O'Leary in goal, great performance from him. Asai Samuel as well, I'm not going to lie, he looked actually quite decent, something I never thought you'd say for Asai Samuel at right back, but regardless, he comes in at right back. McLaughlin and also Malanda, the centre half, of course, McLaughlin with the goal. Timon on the left-hand side, good assist for him. Ilias Sher, left midfield. Right midfield is Opoku with Morgan and Manetzi in the centre of the pitch. Fleming and Coburn as well up front. Both of those two absolute machines this weekend. Very, very impressive. So impressive by Coburn that I've actually got him in there as the player of the week for me. And I've put 2 goals, nearly 1 assist. If you haven't seen it, this miss is... I don't know how he's managed to do it. Coburn, lovely ball across. Really, really good. Across the... I actually forgot who it even was that missed the chance. It is a sitter. It just should always go in. We'll put it down to Rust, first game back and all that. We'll let him off. But regardless, should have been 2 goals and 1 assist, definitely. Now, in terms of the performance of the weekend, we'll get to this in a second. I have gone for Watford, mainly because I wrote them off so much. I said in my video, if you haven't seen it, I've predicted the first 5 games of the Championship season. Go and watch that after this if you haven't seen it, because it's going to be interesting to see where I've got teams. Not going to lie. Yeah, quite a few wrong on the first week, but anyway, we'll move on. But anyway, I wrote Watford off in general this season, and they're actually relatively impressive, so fair play to Watford. But anyway, let's start then up first with Watford, Wolves and Blackburn, 2-2. This, for me, is a really good reminder for Wolves. Welcome back to the Championship, because it's going to throw results here, there and everywhere. Blackburn, credit to them. They looked pretty decent. Wolves looked like they started relatively slow, found a bit of momentum as the game went on, but ultimately a 93rd minute penalty by Raul Jimenez to save all of the points, one of the points. So Wolves, disappointing in terms of that first game. Going to be interested to see how they bounce back moving forward, but credit to Blackburn. After that, and this is in order of how the games were played, by the way, we've got Bolton and Preston. Bolton probably fortunate to get all 3 points by the end of the game. Preston should be kicking themselves. They should have managed to get a point from this. They missed some massive chances to do so. So therefore, with that in mind, I think Bolton a little bit lucky, but also at the same time, take nothing away from them. Take nothing away from them. They've gone there, first game of the season. As I mentioned, that home, that bounce, that momentum going into it, that's what Bolton had. So, and that's what I was expecting a few more teams to have. Bolton rose to the occasion. A massive 3 points for them, because I think Preston are going to be down there. So you've got two teams fighting it out, and the fact that Bolton were able to do it, absolutely massive for them. Moving on, we then had Bristol City and Millwall. Crazy game. We've mentioned Josh Coburn, how good he was. But this was a very, very interesting one. Bristol City, under Skabala, I know the red card, and that would, of course, have changed the game. Disappointing, though. And I thought that they would be a bit more, and again, it's hard to say, red card, fair enough, but a little bit disappointing. Millwall, who I thought might struggle this season, showing that they are, again, maybe a force to be reckoned with. Early days, yes, but looking like a very, very solid team nonetheless. But again, did the red card skew this? I mean, the fact that they were arguing, is it a red card? It's a blatant yellow card. I don't understand in what world it's not a yellow card. You can't pull someone back and not expect to get a yellow. So fair play to the ref for making the right call in my eyes. But how much of an effect did it have? Quite a substantial one, of course, in terms of the result. But in terms of the games, were Millwall always going to win the game? Maybe so. But that is Millwall 2-0 winners. Charlton, and this is why, the Derby badge is just impossible to see. So I will go back to the circular Derby badge, even though they don't use it, just so people can actually see what the hell we're even looking at. But Charlton 2, Derby 1, disappointing for Derby. A Derby side that are finding themselves now in a bit of a tight spot in terms of, you know, where the future goes. Turki Al-Sheikh pulls out of the deal to buy Derby. What does this mean with a few weeks to go in the window? Are they good enough to push towards the playoffs? I think you probably say no, looking at the squad and especially how this game went. But then at the same time, if they can now say, all right, Turki Al-Sheikh's not coming in, let's just get some bodies in now and see who they can bring in. So interesting time, but Charlton, good performance from them, a massive win to start the season off, very impressive to kick off. And again, home form, it would have been bouncing, it was bouncing, it was a great sort of atmosphere it looked like. So Charlton getting the job done. Moving on, we then did have Middlesbrough and Lincoln, a fascinating game of football this. I mean, I was watching Soccer Saturday, just, you know, because obviously it's the first game of the season. There was no 3 p.m. blackout, I believe, so it was showing goals left, right and centre. And it was Paul Merson, goal for whoever, and it was a goal, and it was cut to him. I'm thinking this is going to be Middlesbrough 1-0. I've got him in my bet. Everything's looking good. Lincoln 1-0, and I thought, no way. Lincoln obviously going up against one of the favourites to win this league, gain automatic promotion, and they've just come up and they put on a great show. They really, really nearly got the job done. But Borough coming back, a special shout out to someone who should be in the team of the week, but we can't fit him in. It is Will Lancashire. Very, very impressive. I like the calmness about him. I like how he just oozes this bit of class. Very excited to see what he can do this season for Borough. And ultimately, he's rescued them here, because this would have been a very disappointing first game for Borough, losing at home or even drawing at home to Lincoln. Shades from last season, new players are in. Lancashire says not this season. So Borough looking like a bit of a team that are now going to be able to find wins and get goals instead of last season where they just fell a bit flat at certain points. But interesting for Lincoln. Let's see how they get on for the rest of the season. Now we've got Norwich and West Brom. Again, I'm not going to lie, lads. I backed Norwich. I thought they finished last season so well. And West Brom 2-1 winners. So I did actually end up losing my bet. It was more than just West Brom, but West Brom were part of it. Now, of course, West Brom went 2-0 up. Really, really good away performance in my eyes. Really, really good. Just in a sense of you're going to go somewhere very difficult to play. And with that, you go there, you put on a resolute performance, and you get the job done. Very impressive. Jimmy J. Morgan as well. He has made the team of the week, as has O'Leary. Jimmy J. Morgan, really, really good goal, by the way. So much composure. And I did actually doubt his arrival into the club, because I just thought he's a young lad. You're going to have to demand a lot from him. He's going to have to be a big player for them. And he's looking like, yeah, no worries. As a lot of young players do these, you know, we went through a phase of young players would come through and they just smash it, to a bit of a softer generation, probably 10 years ago, 2014, 15, 16, to now these young players are oozing confidence, ready to go. Jimmy J. Morgan, a prime example of that. Hegerber, I mean, look, it went in, you know, it went in. It was a bit, you know, the arm was up, but it doesn't matter. The linesman missed it, no VAR. This is not the Premier League overview, this is the Championship overview. And that goal stands, and what a big goal it was. West Brom showing everyone, I had them to finish quite low down, but do they actually have a bit? Alex Mowat, of course, leaving. There's so much going on for the Baggies, but if they can just pull it together and they can just build this squad that just about fits and functions, are we looking at a potential playoff shout? We'll have to see, but West Brom getting the job done against Norwich. Now, Portsmouth and QPR, this was again another intriguing one. Portsmouth go 1-0 up, and I'm thinking, Fratton Park is going to be bouncing. It looks good. QPR, yes, they've made some good signings, but also they made good signings last season. So is it just a bit of a thing with QPR where it doesn't quite work out? And they bounce back really, really well. Credit to Terry Devlin, by the way. Great strike. But regardless, they put that behind them, moved forward, and got the job done. 3-1 winners on the day. And I think it's a good sign for QPR, a sign of things to come. They weren't good away from home towards the end of last season, so to pick up this season, going 1-0 down, you can't be tested much more than that. They rose to it, and they will be absolutely delighted going into next week. Now then, Stoke and Swansea. When I mentioned the home performances and not being able to really push on, Stoke, they stood out to me because this was a game where, take nothing away from Swansea, I love the business they've done. They look really good. One of the players I actually picked to be a key player for them was Opoku, who got the goal as well. Came to him, took it very nicely. Well, as nicely as you can for a chance like that. But Stoke just didn't rise to the occasion, and it will always go back to the same thoughts that I feel as though myself and other people have had. Is it Mark Robins? Is it just that Mark Robins is now outdated and no longer a man that can take you forward? Again, it's one season. You won't get any reactionary takes too much from me, but I'm just sat here thinking, is it time for Mark Robins to leave Stoke? But then it makes no sense to do it now, does it? It makes no sense to do it now. But should they have pulled the plug at the end of last season, they're going to spend a lot of money. They have spent money. They've signed some good players. Did they need to go and get the younger coach, the up-and-coming coach that's going to take them to that next level? I think maybe they did, but we'll see how the season goes on. First game, fair enough. Swansea, as we've said, a very good side as well. Great win for Swansea away from home. Moving on to Sheffield United and Blues. This one was an interesting one because Blues probably the better team, but Sheffield United did look like they could just have, they started on fire, but they looked like they could just have this one chance, this one moment that could win the game. Blues a little bit similar, but again, overall, I'd say Blues did edge it, but ultimately, did anyone want to win this game? It didn't really feel like it, to be honest. No one really took the game by the scruff of the neck and said, right, first game of the season, I'm putting a performance down and saying, yes, I'm someone who should be starting. I'm going to win the game. No one really did that, and that did end 0-0. And then we've got Watford and Southampton. And as I said, I wrote Watford off. I just thought, especially against Southampton, there's no way they go and get a result. They absolutely do, and all credit to them. Southampton still on -4. Not many people would have had that before this first game week, but there's work to do for Southampton. It's a season where there's been a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of noise. Is that the case in Watford, where the noise has been there but negative, and they sort of just get pushed to one side going into the season, and they've just arrived and said, well, actually, we're here and we're going to pick up results as we go. Iran Kudu sold in the week leading up to the first game. Another bit of negativity for them. But Watford, Udinese, whoever they are, they've managed to get the job done. So all credit to them. Then we've got Burnley and we've got West Ham. Woo-hoo, this was a great game. I mean, it was great to see two Premier League teams effectively coming down from last season, going head to head. The atmosphere was there. It's just everything that you want from a championship game. Top quality players like Kyle Walker, Jared Bowen, Fleming, all of these players on the pitch. Really, really high quality game. And I think a draw was a fair result. I mean, Burnley, some of the chances they had, they should have been actually probably, I think would have been 2-1 up. By the time the chances that they had, they should have been there. They weren't there. Clawed the game back, fair enough. Solomon scoring for West Ham as well. Lots of controversy around that goal, but regardless, he took it well. So it was just a great game. Two sides that are going to be well up there, aren't they? They're just going to be well up there. And they proved that in that game. So excited to see what those two do next. And to finish off, we have got Cardiff and Wrexham tonight. I was going to wait. I was tempted to wait and film after this game had taken place. But then we're talking about Saturday on, because I'd have probably filmed it maybe last night, Tuesday afternoon. It just loses the effect a little bit. So I do apologise that I didn't wait for that, if anyone is a Cardiff and a Wrexham fan. But regardless, we'll look to this game, and it's going to be an interesting one. I do believe that it will be close, but I could see Wrexham getting the job done just based off how the results have gone in this first game. Granted, Cardiff will be on that boost, but I just feel as though a little bit of away class from Wrexham to get the job done. And as we've said, we've seen many away performances this weekend. So that is all of the games that we've been through. In terms of the table, this is how it looks. Southampton, of course, still down there. Again, such early days. This won't really matter at this point. As the season goes on, it certainly will. But yeah, I mean, standard in terms of where you'd think a lot of these teams will be, so, you know, in the bottom half, maybe the likes of Sheffield United, Cardiff, of course, haven't played, but Lincoln, Derby, where are they going to finish? They're certainly going to be down there most likely. Preston, Portsmouth, but Bristol City, Southampton, Stoke, Norwich, Wrexham, again, who haven't played, but Blues. Interesting to see if they can find themselves, early starters into that top half. We'll have to see on that front there. This is how the top of the table looks. QPR fans, soak this in. Maybe not. Maybe you'll keep going. But at the moment, of course, they are top alongside Millwall. Bolton, massive 3 points for them. Absolutely same for Charlton as well. The rest of the teams, maybe Watford, you could say a good result. Blackburn at Wolves, again, another good result for them. So lots of interesting results, a lot of results that probably people weren't expecting, but this is why we love this league, and this is why I'm going to be covering it every single game week, midweek, and also, of course, on the weekends too. So yeah, I think for the first one, what are we on? 18 minutes or so. I think this is absolutely fine. We've gone over it. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think in terms of where teams, look a bit weak, or if you thought, wow, this player was fantastic and I didn't expect that. For example, for me, Bolton's Thierry Gale. I did not expect him. People were saying, God, this man's going to cause some issues in the championship. I was thinking, really? But yeah, credit to him. And a lot of players do step up. So get in the comments. Let me know those players. Let me know your thoughts for next week as well. If you want to see me do actually a bit of a look to the next set of games, I can certainly do that as well. So let me know in the comments. But lads, it has been an absolute pleasure to do game week 1 of the championship with you, and we will be back for game week 2 and so on and so forth. So make sure you're subscribed, drop a like on the video, and as always, I will catch you on the next one. Just tell me